Now let's move on to the markets. Of course, we've been talking about them all week, and of course, most of last week it was the same story. The market has been falling back in Nigeria, was down over 1.6% yesterday, but currently it's up slightly, about 0.15%. The gainers right now, as in early trade, include Cadbury, Champion Breweries, GT Bank, Zenith Bank, and FBN Holdings, while the laggards include Ashaka Sem, Oando, UBA, Nigerian Breweries. For an update on the market, we're now joined by Olakome Oshobo, Executive Director at Reddings Investment. He joins us from the Nigerian Stock Exchange. Komi, thank you so much for joining us. I guess it's a relief to see that the market is stabilizing a little bit, but many people will suggest that this is still early in the day. What are your thoughts about what we're seeing in today's trade?
Well, like you said, it's early, in the day, but yesterday we didn't have this kind of little bounce in the morning. So it's a welcome relief that the market is not trading down at all this morning. And this morning, if you look at the gainers, as you mentioned, basically, as you can see that the banking industry are a little bit doing well. The Tier 1 banks, GTB, First FBN Holdings, Zenith Bank, are holding themselves this morning. So it is a relief, and we hope that we can sustain it throughout the day.
Does that suggest that's where we should be investing? The banks seem to be doing well in early trade today. A lot of people saying that is where there is value in this market, that the consumer goods stocks are likely to still come down a little bit going forward. Do you think the banks are where we should be putting money?
I think so. Because if you even see this correction we had, over the last 2 weeks, is the banking industry that has been mostly hit. And some of the consumer space that came down, marginally, they have not really. I don't think we've had enough correction in those consumer space. So, if at all, I will still stay with the banking industries. And also, don't forget that the second quarter result will start coming in the next couple of weeks. And as from experience in the past, banking sectors come out first, and you expect them to come out first this year, and you also expect those results to be maybe pretty in line, and some of them will surpass the expectations.
So a great time to position in the banks. Like you mentioned, the results should be out in another couple of weeks. So which stocks do you like in that space right now?
Generally, most of the banks are well priced at this moment, but I will still stay with some of these big ones, like FBN Holdings. If you see, it's really been under pressure in recent times.
Right.
But generally, there is no major news to suggest that it should be trading at a much higher discount than its peers like GTB and Zenith Bank. So it's a stock I will look at. UBA also is doing well. The last time I spoke to you on this, I mentioned that UBA should be close to Access Bank. There's still a lot of discounts between the two. So I expect it to move closer to Access Bank.
What are your thoughts on the situation, the impact of the situation in the fixed income market? Of course, yields are looking pretty high right now, closer to 14% across the yield curve. So your thoughts on the impact of this on the equities market?
It is a problem for the equity market when the yield is going higher and higher. Number one, the yield in the bond space makes it more attractive to come into the banking sector. Then also, there is other aspect of it which maybe we've really not looked at, which is when the yields are going up, you can see that some of this, the value of the bonds are going down. Some of these foreign investors who are not willing to hold this thing to maturity are actually liquidating their bonds and taking money out. And that also puts pressure on the dollar in the FS market, Naira in the FS market. And that's when there is sort of devaluation, the equity investors, especially the foreigners, don't also like that too. So it's a double problem which we have to be concerned about.
Right. And what about the exchange rate volatility? Is that a big problem for you?
If the trend is if the trend is affecting the Naira valuation, yeah, it's a problem.
Yeah,
foreign investors are not looking just at the appreciation in your Naira and the Naira equity prices. They also want to see what dollar they bring in and what dollar they take out when they liquidate their investment.
Fair point, but if you look at yesterday's trade, you'll see that the Naira gained significantly, at least over the last couple of days. Last week it was closer to 162, now it's at 159.40 thereabout. So, and that is a clear manifestation of the impact of the central bank's intervention in the market. They sold $500 million in the last auction. So it shows that they are showing their hand. They're showing that they are ready to defend the naira. Do you think that move is significant enough to reassure investors?
Well, if investors are reassured that CBN will maintain, the dollar rate as it is now, won't allow any major devaluation of it, then it is good. But if there is any doubt as to the CBN readiness to maintain this stability in the FX market, then it will be a problem for the equity market also.